Hey Travis kiddos, it's Wednesday and it's math time. I will be going over in a second some strategies for today's workbook page, page 168. I'm going to go through this a little bit, but I want to start off with some shape work. We haven't done shape work in a little while, and I don't think I've covered in these videos, at least, this exact way to form shapes. So we've done some separating shapes into different parts for fractions and talking about halves and quarters or fourths, but I kind of want to talk about, not exactly the opposite, but combining shapes to create other shapes. Okay, so composing shapes with other shapes. So I don't have everything that I would need to do this here at home, so I'm going to do what I can with what I have, and then I'm going to draw some pictures of some other ones, because I don't have all the things I need at home. So I'm going to start with two of the same shape here. What shape is this? These are rectangles, right? 4 sides, 4 corners, which are right angles, or L corners, we sometimes call them. Closed, flat, okay? Now, we don't always talk about 2 long sides and 2 short sides, because that's not always true of rectangles, because squares are special rectangles. So I didn't put that in my description, but we recognize this as a general rectangle, right? Okay, so what happens if I put these 2 rectangles together? What do I get? What shape is that? That is now a square. Very cool, huh? So they're equal sides all around. So a special rectangle, that's a square. If I put it other ways, this makes not a shape that we work on. This way you can make a longer rectangle, still a rectangle though, right? Okay, so those are some, you can make a longer rectangle, or you can make a square out of 2 rectangles. Pretty cool. Here's the same thing, but just smaller ones. Same idea, but you can make a square. Okay, so 2 rectangles can make a square or can make another rectangle. What about 2 squares though? What can I do with 2 squares? My special rectangles that have all 4 sides the same. Okay, so closed, flat, for right angles or L corners, right? But all 4 sides are the same or equal. If I put them together, it makes squares together, makes a rectangle. Doesn't matter which way you do them, it's going to make a rectangle. This doesn't really make a shape that we know of, because we don't talk about where the vertices come together, but this makes a rectangle. Pretty cool. What about, what shape is this? This is called a triangle. 3 sides, 3 corners or vertices. It's closed and flat. So what if, it's hard for me to hold them, but I'm going to try my best. What if I put 2 of them together? Now these specific, we have equilateral triangles, so all sides are the same and all corners are the same angle. So that makes a parallelogram. But if I'll show you later what other shape of triangles make. If I put all 3 of them together, I wish I could show you without my fingers covering it. I'll draw you a picture though. This makes a trapezoid. So it has 4 sides, okay? And it has a short side and a longer side so that the angles slant up there. So let me draw those for you, all the ones that we just did, okay, to show you. So I had 2 rectangles. 1, and I'm going to do my best because I'm not perfect at drawing these shapes equally. Okay, 2, and that made a square. So if I erase this, again, not perfect, but it should make pretty much a square. Okay, so we started with 2 rectangles, splitting it evenly. Now we have 2 halves, right? We can turn a square into 2 rectangles by splitting it, or we can turn 2 rectangles into a square by taking away the line in the middle. Pretty cool, huh? Okay, we made a long rectangle by putting the 2 smaller rectangles together on top of each other. So rectangle, longer rectangle. Okay, splitting it in half evenly. Again, my lines aren't perfect, sorry. 2 squares. So 1 square and another square. So 2 squares, when you take away the line in the middle, it makes a rectangle. 2 squares, 2 equal halves, now is a rectangle. Okay, now the triangles I was showing you, 1, 2, 3. Now that makes a trapezoid. If I take away the lines in the middle, those 3 shapes together compose a trapezoid. Again, not perfect, but you get the gist. Now, what do you think I get when I put 2 trapezoids together? Let's see. Make one on the bottom. Anyone know that shape? It's a hexagon. So, turn into a hexagon. Our trapezoids turn into triangles. Our whole hexagon turned into a whole lot of triangles. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 triangles. Cool, huh? So you can compose and decompose shapes by using other shapes. Now, what if I had a triangle that looked like this? This one's called a right triangle because it has one of those L corners like a square. If I put 2 of them together, guess what I get? A square. Okay, so 2 triangles become a square. A square splits into 2 equal triangles. Pretty neat, huh? So maybe you can find some things at home that are in different shapes and you can create new shapes by putting them together. Give it a try, okay? And of course, have fun with it. Let's get back into our addition with regrouping. So this whole week we're focusing on that, addition with regrouping. We also want to focus today, most of the week, on addition with regrouping to 2-digit numbers. Okay, so 10s and 1s for both of the numbers. So on this page, you're going to add and then answer the question. So we have some numbers, we have some letters. Now, I would strongly recommend having either a whiteboard or a separate piece of paper and pencil for this because there's not a whole lot of space to work here. We don't want to just guess. We don't want to just fill in and then figure out what number it should be. Okay, I want you to really do the work first. So, and you know I don't want you to count on, especially if you're counting on 59. Please don't do that. So find another piece of paper and pencil for this. So what you're going to do is you're going to add up the numbers. And then down here you notice there are some numbers underneath these boxes. So when you add it up, you're going, whatever your answer is that you figure out, find that number down here and that letter will go in that spot. And you'll be able to answer the question, what toy is named after President Theodore Roosevelt? So parents, if you know, don't spoil the surprise. But let me show you a couple of examples here. So 52 plus 19. Now you know I'm going to show you more ways than one. So 52 plus 19. We're going to start in the ones place. So let me draw a picture first because you know I love pictures for this. So 5 10s, 2 1s, plus 19. Now, again, you could do it horizontally or vertically. I'm going to do this one vertically because I like the way that it organizes it for me. So 1 10 and 9 1s. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, so first I'm going to add my ones together. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Hey, I have 11 ones, more than 10. So I'm going to circle a 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So I'm going to leave that one out of it because it's not part of my 10. Now I have 1 10 and 1 1. So 11 is equal to 1 10, 1 1. It's the same thing, right? Or 11 ones. But this way I have created a new 10. So I need to make sure I show that in my picture at the bottom. So let me see, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 from the 52, 1 from the 19, and the 10 I just made. So 5, 6, 7 10s. You could draw the picture or write the number. And I have 1 left over. Let's see if it works the same here. So 2 plus 9. 9, I'm going to start with the bigger number. 9, 10, 11, and count on. So 11 is 110, like we said, and 1, 1. So the 1s go in the 1's place, the 10s go in the 10's place. So 110, 1, 1. Now I add up 110, 110, 5 10s, and 110. 1 plus 5 is 6, plus 1 more is 7. Hey, same answer. Cool. So, since my answer is 71, I'm going to write 71 here. Now, 71 is going to be a Y. So I come down here and find the, oh, there it is, 71. So now I'm going to put a Y in that spot. Okay? If you're ready to go ahead and keep doing them. I'll show you one more example, okay? And of course, I'll show you a different way. You can stick with the sticks and dots. You can do whatever you need. If you're ready to just do vertical addition and you're getting it every time and you're not losing that 10 that you've created when you regroup, awesome. If you're struggling with that, it's good to continue practicing, drawing something or working out the numbers how you need, okay? So let me do another one. So what about 67 plus 18? Now, again, you're going to see some of these are just adding some ones on, and some of them are adding two-digit numbers. So 67 plus 18. I'm going to do this. Is going to be a little bit complicated, but it's okay. I'm going to do it with number bonds. So 67 is 60 and 7. 18 is 10 and 8. Now, what I can do is I can add my 10s with my 10s and my 1s with my 1s. I can figure out how to make a 10 and then have my extras left over. There are a lot of ways, of course, as you've seen in other videos, that we can do this. I'm going to start by adding my 10s with my 10s because that's pretty straightforward. 60 plus 10. So 10 more than 60 is 70. When you're adding 10s, you're just saying one more 10, right? 6 10s, add one more 10, 7 10s, there you go. Now 7 plus 8, again, you can do this two ways. You can do 7 plus 8, I'm going to show it over here as well in a slightly different way. So we already know 60 plus 10 is 70. Now, 7 plus 8, this is a way that we worked on yesterday, where I split up 8, so that, or you could split up the 7, either way, so that we can make a 10. If I have 7, and I need to make a 10, what do I need? We did this exact one, 3. So if I have 3 from the 8, what's left over? If I split 8 up into 3 and 5, right? This is the whole, these are the parts. So here I have a 10. So I have 10 plus 5, or 15. Okay, so I'm going to keep it like this, and actually, you know what? I'm going to show it slightly off to the side. These are essentially the same thing. Some of them you just might skip to a separate, you might skip a step in there. Okay, now I have 10 plus 5 and 70. So now I'm going to add the 10 with the 10. So 70 plus 10 equals, so 7 10s plus one more 10 is 8 10s. Or 80, and now I can add my 5 in. So 80 plus 5 equals 85. Now, the reason why this looks like a little bit more work but helps us organize is because I keep the 10s and 1s separate the whole time. This way, 7 plus 8 we know is 15, right? Now I have to add 70 plus 15. So if you can do this in your head or if you can add it some way quickly, great. If you need to break this out into these steps, you can do that as well. There's always room for variation for whatever works for you. Okay, so again, 70 plus a 10 and a 5. You could think of it that way, but all together it is 85. So if you need to split the 15 up from here, go for it. If you can do it, go for it. Let's do it vertically. 7 plus 8 is 15. 110, 5 1s. 110 plus 6 10s plus 110 is 8 10s, or 85. So getting the same answer, just getting there in different ways. You see the vertical addition is very quick if you know what you're doing. And we do eventually want to get to that because it's a quicker step, it's a shortcut. But if you don't understand why it works, we don't want to jump to it yet. So take the time to really work on these. If you need more than one day, you have time this week. Okay, it's only the one lesson all week, so if you need to slow this down and just do a couple of problems a day, take your time. Okay, so that one was here, 67 plus 18, and we said it was 85. So I need to find my 85 because it's going to be an A. Where's 85? 85. Oh, there it is. So 85 is right here. So 85 is going to be the letter A. So you go through, do all your addition, fill in the blanks. If something doesn't make sense at the end or the number that you think it is not at the bottom, check your work again, okay? So check it again, make sure that you have it correct. If you can't figure it out, work on something else and come back to it later, okay? Just try your best, have fun with it, and hopefully by the end of the week, you know what toy was named after Theodore Roosevelt. Happy learning!